Okay, I've been doing a little experimenting with arrow penetration, and I wanted to put it on film to show what I've been finding. What I originally did was start shooting at unused phone books at my home just to see which arrows would penetrate deeper into it. And I found that with very few exceptions, every time the lighter arrow penetrated deeper into the phone book than the heavier. And I found that also with my experience with hunting, which is by no means scientific, but I found that I've had pass-throughs every time with my lighter setup. I find it to be more accurate, but I've been taking a lot of heat from people claiming that you need to shoot a heavier arrow if you're shooting traditional, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to see what the actual results would be. I made up some homemade ballistic gel and shot into that as well as a phone book, and we put it on film to show you what I found. And basically what I found was that the difference is very minimal. In each case, the lighter arrow did penetrate more, but not enough to make it significant. I believe with whatever type of bow you're shooting, you want to get the setup for hunting as quiet as possible. So if shooting a real light arrow is going to make your bow loud as all heck, you're not going to want to do that. If you can get a lighter arrow tuned to the bow, I would shoot the lighter arrow because it's more accurate. Especially in this case, there was over 30 feet per second difference between the different arrows, or right around 30 feet. I haven't actually did the subtraction. But we're going to go in right now. I'll show you where I did the testing. This is where I shoot one of my winter leagues. I happen to love this range, and I'll just show you a little clip of what it's like in there. You tell me when, Heather.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to weigh the 3 different arrows that we're going to use to test, and I'm going to use just a standard grain scale, and I'll put them on right now. I've marked them. The one arrow, what I've done is took marker on the yellow flexing. This one has a weight tube in it to make it heavier. It's a Carbon Tech Cheetah 400 spine. This is also a Carbon Tech Cheetah. It does not have a weight tube in it, and you'll see that the yellow flexion is left alone. And this is a gold tip traditional 5575, and it's got a knock adapter and a heavy field point. They all have roughly the same front of center, and I'm going to weigh them right now. And this arrow, if you want to just film the weight so you can see it. Oops. It's 562 grains. That's the gold tip. And then this is the Carbon Tech Cheetah without the weight tube. Oops, I'll get it to balance on there. 349 grains. And then this is a Carbon Tech Cheetah with the weight tube in it. And it's 539 grains. And a little later I'll show you the balance point so that you can see they all have roughly the same front of center. And right now what I'm going to do is shoot through paper from 10 yards, which will be the distance I'll be doing the testing, to show you that they're all reasonably tuned well. It's very difficult to get arrows of all different weights perfectly tuned, but you'll see as I shoot through paper that they're reasonably tuned. And I'm going to step back to about 10 yards. First one I'm going to shoot is the gold tip. This one is the Carbon Tech with the weight. And this one's the Carbon Tech without the weight. If you want a close up on the tears. And as you can see, they're all pretty much perfectly tuned. There's a little bit of variation, but it's nothing significant. And then you can cut if you want.
Okay.
Okay, the first arrow I'm going to chronograph is the gold tip. And that's coming in at 173 feet per second. I'm going to shoot it 2 more times through there to show that I'm, relatively consistent in my release. 175 feet per second. And 174 feet per second. So for finger shooting, that's pretty consistent. The next one I'm going to shoot through 3 times is the Carbon Tech with the weight tube in it. And I'll shoot that through right now. That's not accurate. Oh yeah, that is. I'm sorry, that's 179. I was thinking I was shooting the lighter arrow. That's 179 feet per second. And I'll do it 2 more times. That malfunctioned. I'm going to reset it. Okay, so we'll do that again. .78 feet per second. And one more time. 178 feet per second. Now I'm going to lastly shoot the lighter arrow, the lighter Carbon Tech. And this is a Carbon Tech without the weight tube. .214. .215. .214. So as you can see, we're within a few feet per second on every shot. And then we'll go to the penetration tests. Okay. What I'm going to do here is, instead of going through all the calculations on front of center, I'm just going to show you visually that they're all balancing at roughly the same point. Okay, you'll see this one here, I'm going to get to teeter right there roughly. This one about right there. And this one about right there. You can see they're all within a quarter of an inch of each other as far as front of center goes. If I move these all just a hair forward, you're going to see they're all going to fall off.